In the heart of a bustling city, where towering skyscrapers scraped the sky and the symphony of car horns drowned out all other sounds, a tiny ball of fur trembled behind a storm drain. It was a kitten, no more than a few weeks old, her calico coat of cream, orange and black, matted with dirt. One ear bore a small tear. Her wide blue eyes darted around frantically as cars roared past, sending dirty spray dangerously close to her hiding spot. She pressed herself against the cold metal grate, too terrified to move. The city around her throbbed with life. A food cart vendor shouted orders. A cyclist swerved to avoid a taxi. Teenagers laughed, their voices echoing over their phones. But the kitten's world was confined to the narrow space behind the drain, her breathing growing more shallow with each passing moment. Then, emerging from a shadowy alley, a large, scruffy dog limped into view. Bruno, a stray with a muscular frame and a coat of patchy brown and black fur, his left paw bearing a jagged scar. One milky white eye hinted at a lifetime of struggles on the streets, yet his remaining amber eye glinted with sharp awareness. When he heard the kitten's faint mewl, Bruno froze. His head tilted, his tail stiffened. Without hesitation, he barked once, a deep, resonant sound that echoed off the buildings, a warning to stay back. But the kitten, driven by instinct and desperation, remained where she was. Bruno's nostrils flared. He assessed the situation quickly, cars speeding, humans distracted, time running out. With a sudden burst of motion, he lunged into the street, dodging tires and swerving vehicles. A car honked violently, skidding to a stop inches from Bruno as he slid to a halt in front of the drain. The kitten stared up at him, her tiny body curled into a shivering ball. A speeding delivery truck roared past, its tire grazing Bruno's hind leg. He yelped, but stood his ground. In one swift motion, he clamped his jaws gently around the kitten's scruff and leaped backward. The truck's horn blared as it missed them by inches. Bruno staggered onto the sidewalk, panting heavily, the kitten dangling safely from his mouth. The world seemed to fall silent. No honks, no shouts, just the rhythmic drip of rainwater from a nearby awning and the kitten's shaky breaths. Reaching his secret den behind a dumpster in a nearby alley, Bruno curled around the kitten, shielding her with his body. The kitten, now safe, nudged his scarred paw with her tiny pink nose. As if understanding the gravity of their situation, Bruno stayed still, his tail giving a single, reluctant thump against the ground. By dawn, the city stirred again. An elderly street vendor with a kind face noticed the pair. Smiling, she placed a bowl of milk and leftover meat near the alley's entrance. Bruno watched her warily, his milky eye narrowed, but he didn't growl. The kitten, now nicknamed Marbles for her swirling coat, padded forward on unsteady legs, her loud purr echoing in the quiet morning. As sunlight spilled over the city, Bruno rested his chin on his paws. Marbles nestled against his side. The rumble of traffic began to rise, the air thick with exhaust, but in that alley, a fragile bond had formed. Bruno's scarred tail, which had never before wagged for anyone, gave a small thump against the ground. He closed his eyes, listening to the tiny rumble of Marbles's purr. For the first time in years, hope flickered in his milky eye.